Breaking news.
I'm Carson D.
And I'm Jacob Keeling.
And this is CJN.
Today we are going to go over the Ukraine-Russian border dispute. This has been an ongoing dispute over the Ukraine's border.
One, on the Ukraine side, they want to keep independence from the Russians. And on the Russian side, Russia thinks Ukraine should be a part of the country that they so rightfully had. And this means that Russian separatists in Ukraine have started violently protesting to make this happen.
I'm going to turn it over to Quavo to show you the borders.
As you can see in the map, Kiev, which is the Ukraine capital, has fortified their area so nobody can start fighting there. But over here, you can see where all these countries that I cannot pronounce have started the fighting, and all these cities and everything have made basically a new area called the New Russian border, New Russia. They call it many names. The big problem with this is there's, as you can see, there's a sea around here, and Crimea is a country. If this New Russia keeps going on, Ukraine will not be able to get to their island, Crimea. Therefore, it'll probably be seized by these New Russians. Now, this conflict started when Ukraine backed out of a deal that would integrate them with the EU. This decision would separate ties from Russia, so Russian activists started to protest violently around these. Then, as you can see in the map, parts of Ukraine that have the most fighting are part of New Russia. This would cause 43% of Ukraine to be given up and Crimea to be cut off from Ukraine. These conflicts have caused Russia to deploy 45,000 troops around this border right here. And they probably got some in the sea. I don't know. I'm not a Russian. So troops on the Ukraine-Russian border have started military exercises. Now these exercises have caused a lot of anger and a lot of confusion from the Ukraine side, because these have live firing, live missile testing, and even live bullets sometimes. And if, say, a missile were to go off and hit somewhere in Ukraine, that would start a war. And do we know if it's World War III? Maybe. But let's get back to the interview. Thank you. You too.
Nice to meet you, Petro.
Thanks, you too.
Now, explain why Ukraine should join Russia.
There's large ethnic groups of Russians who would like to be a part of Russia. We're only helping our separatist groups, and this means that we are supplying them with some weapons and other things. And we did deploy troops at the border. This was only to ensure our safety and ensure the safety of our separatists.
We fought to have our own country. Our decisions to separate from the UN deal should not be an issue.
I think this is getting pretty heated. I think we will end it here. Now, before we end this, do we have any final statements?
Ukraine's dumb.
Russia is dumb.
You heard it here, folks.
Wow, that Putin guy was pretty cute.
Petro looked ugly.
So as you can see, this is a pretty big debate, and not only for these two countries, but maybe the entire world. You know, these two countries may be some of the biggest we have, and Russia, like you know, has been a little iffy with the United States. So if this keeps happening, we might not know to join Ukraine, which would be a democratic state, or to join Russia, who we've been friends with, but there's been a little problem there. And everybody can see that this is a big issue everybody should be worried about. Just not only these troops deploying, but Crimea being shut off, our trades maybe being shut off from Ukraine, could help and hinder our country so much.
Thank you.
Good night.
This has been CJN.